In a dull and misty English town, an ordinary girl lives her trying life. But alongside her boring world, another world lingers. The world of angels, with heaven and hell, with cities suspended high in the skies and cities hidden deep beneath the surface, with creatures harvesting humans, and prophecy of assassinated archangel one day reborn within a human. Heavenward by Olga Gibbs is a, I want to say young adult, dark, epic fantasy type thing. So yeah, it started out kind of what I would expect from a standard YA urban/contemporary fantasy type thing. The main character is in a school. She finds herself people who are new in her life and discovers that she's got these powers, and then these new people try to either take advantage of her or to get her to do what they want or to try and kill her, and it turns out that they are angels. Yeah, and so she gets kind of taken to this place and meets all sorts of new people who are also angels, and she again then discovers that she is also an angel, or, well, she's human, but she has an angel's essence within her. So this story started off very much like the typical young adult fantasy. However, I'd say halfway through, things that you would have expected to see, they switched around, and the things that you would have thought would have happened didn't happen. And so finally, for once, we have a main character who asks logical questions. I was very excited about this. The logical questions of the main character really made this story what it is. I think trying to understand the world, a lot of times you see in young adult fiction, there's just that one question that the characters sort of refuse to ask or forget to ask, and that makes the entire story what it is, whereas this one did not do that. It was very interesting and I liked it. I also liked the lore that was brought into it, because a lot of times you see angels and demons and whatnot, and it's sort of fairly standard based on such lore in the Western world. However, this did have some of that, but it was also very much different, and I liked it. It was cool to see the changes that were made to something that is familiar and make it into something unfamiliar, something new to explore, which is very cool. The prose itself was pretty standard for what I would expect from a fantasy novel of this sort. It flowed well. I think it made sense. I didn't ever get lost in the prose. There was one formatting problem, though, that did drive me a little crazy. The standard dialogue tag is, we went to the store, comma, end quote, she said, period. This one was, we went to the store, end quote, comma, she said, period. The punctuation always goes inside the dialogue, and inside the quotations, that's just a little formatting thing. This didn't do that, it reversed it, which was a little strange, but once you got used to it, then you sort of didn't notice it anymore. My main critique, though, is that the very last, I want to say 2 chapters, but I'm not entirely sure on that. The tropes that I was really excited to see subverted, the things that were new, that were different, suddenly came back, and it didn't make as much sense as I would have thought. This one mostly is to do with the 2 potential love interests that you see in YA fantasy a lot, and originally this trope had been subverted very well, and it was done to such a way that it was cool and interesting to see. And then the last couple of chapters, it sort of came back in a way that it felt like it was very out of character for these characters, and there were bits of logic that didn't make sense, like how did he get there? How did Sam get there? And all of the immediate trust and the immediate declarations of affection and whatnot, that just sort of didn't jive with the rest of the book. It was a bit strange. However, the book did end on such a way that I have a feeling that those things will be changed in book 2. Yeah. So on the whole, I think this was a fun, contemporary, epic, dark fantasy thing. I'm really actually not sure what genre this fits into. I'm still working on the whole genre thing. Anyways, it was it was fun to read. I enjoyed it. You know, the stakes were high, there was adventure, there was trouble causing, and wings. That was cool too. So yeah, I think it was a fun read. If you're interested in this book, as usual, you can find all of the links in the description box below. Just so if you're wondering, that cover is absolutely beautiful. Really cool. Loved the cover. But anyways, links in the description box below. You can find Olga Gibbs' book there. You can find my books there. If you want to talk to me, do let me know. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. I hope things are going really well for you. If you want to chat about anything, about books, about being home, about the craziness in the world, about unicycles, I mean, yeah, go for it. I'm around pretty much all the time, and I hope you have a good day. I hope things are not too crazy, and I will see you next time.